Let's stick at 1500 for now. There it is, airfield in sight. Cool. Right. Let's kill the autopilot. Right, so now we're just reducing our airspeed so we can get the flaps down. Like that. 20 degrees of flaps. Airspeed's critical, make sure you keep the airspeed going. So runway is there. Landing speed 60. You're supposed to get it to 65 on the descent. I turned too sharply down. So I turned too quickly. What you do is you get your wings level. You should be doing 65 knots, and then you want third stage of flaps. Normally you'd land with 30 degrees of flaps. When you kick in 30 degrees on a Cessna, you get a whole world of drag from 20 degrees. It's ridiculous how much drag you get. So you've got to put the power in to get the height and then just get the nose down to get your speed back. But this thing, at 30 degrees flaps, this thing's going to stall at like 43 or something, so it's not critical. Notice it's got a displaced threshold like the last one. You see the arrows on the floor? But our Cessna floats quite a bit, so we want to aim for the threshold and you'll be fine. Just keep the airspeed going. We've got a crosswind going on. For some reason, like, firstly, it drops out the sky like quicker than a real plane does, and secondly, whatever landing you get with this thing, it always makes it sound like you've like punched a wall. Like, it always goes poof, and it's really not like that. Normally suspension just goes and takes it, but yeah, it always sounds a lot worse than it really is. How do we get off this taxiway? Controlled crash, yeah. You'd think so. I think there's a turn-off point here. I think there's a disused runway. I don't know if they use it as a taxi or not. Have we walked away from it, Chris? That's the main thing. This here, I don't know if this is a taxiway or not. Actually, no, it can't be. There's actually a left exit here. There we go. So they are using the disused runway, this one. See, this is modelled pretty well. Look at it. So you'd normally like leave the threshold and then you do your after landing checklist, which would look something like call vacated and stop, parking brake goes on, make sure your autopilot's off, put your trim set back for takeoff, bring the flaps up, carpet if you've got it put on cold, landing lights would go off, taxi would come on, strobe would come off, pitot heat would go off at this point, put your transponder on standby, which is that one there. And then your parking brake would go off, and off you would go to a taxi. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's actually writing. Hang on a sec. That looks like writing. Huh. So you know what? Remember I told you what the X's mean? And interestingly enough, there's like a helipad right in the middle of it. So yeah, an X means no maneuvering on this. So you can't even taxi over that. I think the GA parking's over here somewhere. See if we can spot the GA planes anyway. I think we're supposed to park here. Kind of looks like, isn't it? It said on the thing southeast of the tower, which should be about here. So yeah, we'll go there, I think. Oh, I always remove my yoke during checklist fill. It makes it easier to read, mate. In fact, the first thing I do, Phil, is I'll remove the yoke and put a leopard skin one on that I have. Just for a bit more blink, and it keeps your arms, like your hands warm as well. Very nice in my car. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Right then. Now when taxi come off. And then you do your magneto continuity check. This one just to make sure nothing's broken. And then 1200, all's good. Avionics come off.
The engine seems ideally primed.
Thank you, F4 Labs. There you go. Welcome to Nuki. Still in VFR? Yeah. Look how long the shadows are getting now. The sun comes down. I need to try and restart the, let's see, plugin admin. How do we restart? The F4 Labs plugin, I wonder. F4 Labs XJet. Because if I can't get the menu back, I can't refuel it. The menu was over here, but it's gone. I'll have to just restart the game. See, maybe if we do... Maybe that'll do it. Bingo. We got ourselves some fuel. Right, let's see if we can plan a last flight somewhere. Do you think we can make it down to... See how long it'll take to get to Land's End. What's the nearest airfield to Land's End, I wonder? Could be that one. Land's End. Land's End Airfield. EGHC. Who knew, eh? Can I show you what? The practice failure recovery. Not today. I will show it, but not today. I think so, Phillips. Yeah, let's see how long it'll take us to get down there. Let's have a look at Pooley's plate for this. Wow. They've got an 784 meter runway. Could land on 3-4. You have to PPI. See that? All aircraft PPI by telephone. In other words, you have to phone up and get permission to land there before you go. High-vis clothing required. VFR traffic maybe has to follow the northern route according to traffic and or weather conditions. Right, we can do that. Let's have a look how long it'll take. "23 minutes, not that far." Hey, Jack. Right, it's a big gliding and parachuting site here called Peranporth, which we definitely want to stay away from. The heck is that? No idea what those blue things are. Oh, there's Truro. Right, let's route down to Truro, then we'll stay out of the way of that thing. I think what we'll do is we'll overfly Land's End, come around and look at the very tip of Land's End there, and then come in for a landing on, was it 30? It's Penzance. Penzance is so hard to get to, so far away, it's ridiculous. Okay, so taxiing is taxiway A. Cool, sound good. So we should get into Land's End in about half an hour, and then we'll just route around it and then come in for a landing. We'll overfly the airfield. Oh, it's a warning for birds, that makes sense. I thought it was somebody'd spilt some ink on the map. Birds will stay away from strobe lights. Do you know, I don't think... Is this all back scenery? I don't think it is. No, it's not. So this can't be default. It's too good for default, surely. How does it communicate with X-Plane? Error spike. You basically go to your settings up here, and then you go to network, and then you basically this is like your internal IP address, and then you tell it to broadcast on all to all mapping apps on the network. You just tick this box here, and what happens is in SkyDemon, you just tell it to connect to X-Plane, because it has support for X-Plane, and it'll just find it on the network and connect to it. Or you can tell X-Plane to broadcast to like a specific IP. So you would get the IP of your iPad and say, broadcast to that, or to anything that wants it. So it's literally like 2 minutes. If you Google it, it's super easy. Right, I'm going to go and refill my juice, and then we'll get going. You could really have that built into a cockpit. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Instant cup of tea. How amazing is that? The fastest cup of tea you've ever seen. No, I timed it perfectly. I went into the kitchen to make a drink, and Mrs. Squirrel was already making a cup of tea, so I ended up walking away with both. Molten lava. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's see. Fuels on both. Fuel shut-offs in. Take off mixture rich. Master's coming on. Beacon's coming on. Single pump. Quarter turn. Okay. Sounds like the battery's flat. Great. The plane's broken. We're not going anywhere. The problem is there's no way of fixing this. There we go. It's alright now. Makes no sense. So you're supposed to lean it out while you're just sat here idling, is what you're supposed to do. I didn't leave the lights on. The master switch is off. Nothing. In theory, you can't. There's no way you could even do that. Yeah, so we definitely need some lights here. Because it is going to start getting a little bit dark. Right, TCPs are all good. Let's see. Standby 7,000 set. Don't need to worry about that stuff. 1,200. Right, tax lights coming on. We know where we're leaving from. We know where we're going to. A place like this, you would probably need to put a call in to request start. It wouldn't hurt, just in case. You can't seem to get the aircraft trimmed. Yeah. It can be a bit of a pain. You've called if the plane breaks down, your owner. Sun's getting low. I use the Thrustmaster Warthog, Jimbo. Try using the trim wheel with the mouse instead, Jimbo. See if that works any better for you. What if you own the plane? Well, if you own the plane, you should already know what to do in that case. You might have a mechanic, like aircraft recovery, I don't know. Got to get an engineer to go and fix it. To be honest, whatever airfield you're at, you probably need, if they've got an FBO, you can go and talk to them and see if they can get an engineer to help you get going again. If you're at a runway that doesn't have one, yeah, you have to get an engineer to come down and see it. I'd like to get a share in a plane. I don't think I want to buy my own plane. They're pretty expensive. I don't think it's like financially makes sense to own a plane because you're not going to be flying it 5 days a week or anything, are you? So it's just going to be sat there draining money. Like, sure, if you got loads of cash, great, go for it. But it kind of makes more sense to have a plane that's shared amongst like half a dozen people or something. And then if there's any unexpected costs come in, well, you can share the load. And the plane's going to get better used that way. And planes don't like sitting around too long. The 2 best days of owning the plane: the day you buy it and the day you sell it, lol. Go ahead, Vrome. Make my day. Make that $1 million delivery, Vrome. Yeah, bro, you just need to get a loan first, Vromey. No, well, that's it, VFR. That's another reason I want to do my kind of instrument rating, is because it opens the door up to do flying in non-VFR conditions. Yonka, thank you for 27 months. And it makes you a better, safer pilot. Right, let's see. Do all your power checks, but there's no failures, so it's fine. Fuel's on both, trim set for takeoff, flaps up. Mixture's going to rich now. carpet, we don't have any. Let's see, taxis coming on, strobes, landing lights, nav light. Primer, there isn't one. Altimeter we set earlier to 1019. Transponders going to altitude 7,000. Flight controls and all that good stuff. Right, so we're going to take off on, is it 30? 30. Take off on 30, and then we're going to do a left climbing turn. Because we want to avoid the gliding site down here. So we'll probably like turn and come back overhead on Nuke either. So anyway, when you're climbing, you want a rate 1 turn maximum. And if you want to know what a rate 1 turn is, on the turn coordinator, that bar is a rate 1 turn. So you want that wingtip to go here and no more than here. Don't bank any more on a climb. $1,300 from each viewer, Captain Flint. Starting with you, sir. Why don't you set the precedent, Captain Flint? Make the bold move today. Right, let's go. Land's End, here we come. So we can take off on this bit, if you remember. Displays threshold. Do a rolling start. Looking for 55. Rotate 55, climb out 80, roughly. Just climb out to 80 and follow the center line. Quite a long runway, so we should be absolutely fine. Campsite was to the right. What was the campsite over there? Huh. Get the nose down. There we go. So we'll just start a rate 1 turn now. Like that. So you're kind of watching two things at this point. Your angle of bank and your airspeed. Always watching your airspeed. Sean, GVS, welcome back. Speed of 80 is what we want. Vrome, here's the first $5 of a million. Someone else can do the rest. Lol, Vrome, that's a cop-out. Thanks, Vrome. Okay. See you later, Nuki. It's quite a big airfield, that one. So we're already at 2,000 feet. Let's come off.
Oh, yeah.
I think we'll level out there. It's pretty misty. We're going to Land's End now. Bad Habit McGee, welcome back. And Vrome with another 5. Thanks, Vrome. We're nearly there, mate. If you bought a plane, would you stick with the 172 or something else, D22?
What's up, Jack?
I would be happy to fly 172, a Warrior, something like that. It's more about the share and the location and the availability is more important to me. But I want it to be like a 4-seater type thing, put it that way. Right, heading select. Alright, cool. Strobes now, done. It's fine. I don't understand why Sky Demon overlays these plates. Go away. I don't want that plate. Do you use Nav API or control it yourself? I'm literally controlling it myself with just heading select here. Now, I've flown over wind turbines, and they're really cool when you fly over the top of them, but you need to give them like really good clearance. But it is kind of fun when you fly near them. I would suggest they're spinning a bit quickly though.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Flint with 5 more. Thank you, Captain Flint. Here's another 5 from Brom. Just wanted to be on top of the cheerboard for today. Thank you, Brom. Thank you for the bits. What's the circle thing next to the window? Is it just events? You mean to our west on the diagram? That is Para North. And if you look, it's got a parachute symbol and a glider symbol. So yeah, you want to stay away from that. Unless you're talking to them and they say we're not active. So we should be coming up on Truro. We'll be right turning out of Truro and heading down towards Land's End. You can actually see the coast though, you see it? This is Truro here. You want to know your opinion on Truckers MP because you kind of hate it. Do you actually hate Truckers MP, the software, or are you not fond of the rules, or are you not fond of the people on the server? Like, can you be more specific? Oh yeah, Robican. I've been following Deadstick for like 18 months. This is Truro. They got a bridge running right through, you see? Not a bad little town, Truro.
Hey, special delivery.
Benner, we're almost there. Now to get your new plane, lol. Thank you, Benner. We're so close. You're not fond of the people on the server, I should say. I think it's cool the multiplayer, but all the people are just so annoying. Have you tried playing on the sim one? I think it's the sim one. Does anybody remember? Time, turn, talk, gross error check, freedom check. Remember that? Yeah, I was going to say, like, in any multiplayer game, there's pretty much nothing you can do about the people. I think just about every multiplayer game I've ever played in my life, there's been annoying people on the server at some point. It's the same for Rocket League. It's the same for Siege. It's the same for Call of Duty, Warcraft. Yeah, you name it. There are people that are just plain annoying. But it just kind of follows life, though, surely. You can almost buy a die-cast 172. Yay! Now you see this like here, in real life, when the sun starts getting low like this and it's a misty day, it can get really bad for visibility. Particularly in like winter and stuff, it can get horrendous. Okay, what's this town here? Redruth. There's a mast here, 1.4, you see it? So at 2,000 we should be good, but I'm going to steer to the right slightly. Why do you always leave the mixture full? I don't, Jimbo. I leaned it earlier. But yeah, if you want to lean it, you just follow the guide like the EGT here. Just bring it out until your needle roughly lines up there like that. North Cliffs hang gliding site. Ooh. Antenna 3.6 nautical. That's cool. There's actually tellers about this antenna. Let's see if we can see it. I wonder if Orbex put it in though. It looks like it's not here, I don't think. Is that it? That's power line. I don't see it. I don't think Orbex have put it in.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Whiteland, now you see you. Mr. Whiteland, dude, thank you very much for donating $50. It's very kind, Whiteland. That's taken me that bit closer to owning a plane. Thank you, mate. I've no idea what your message is about, but that's not uncommon. But thank you very much for your support, sir. Thank you. Oh yeah, sorry. I guys, you should have told me. I left the iPad massive. I did say this would happen. Almost pays for the fuel on the flight. Thank you, Whiteland. I'm actually going, I've actually arranged to go and see a plane next week. A share has become available in a plane, and I'm going to go and have a look at it on Saturday morning. So if I happen to be a little late... what the heck? If I happen to be a little late to the stream on Saturday, which I hopefully won't be, but if I am, it's because I've just been looking at a plane. A share of a plane. No, it's actually not a Cessna. It's not a Cessna 172, bizarrely. Jeez, why are we so low? Climb, climb, climb. I don't want to tell you about the plane yet. Yeah, it's a Boeing, Whiteland. I don't want to tell you about the plane yet in case it doesn't work out. Like, you know, there's too many variables. But it's a share in a plane. It's like an equity share. There's 7 people. 1's leaving, so I'm hoping to sort of jump in there. It's not a 182, mate. No. So yeah, it'll be basically, it means that if it works out, then flying will be a lot cheaper, and I'll be able to hire it for like longer journeys. So that's literally what I'm aiming for. I'm not buying a plane; it's an equity share in a plane. There's a huge difference. I do see your messages, yes, Mod King. Well, the thing is, Whiteland, is like, you know, potentially like, I can't see it till next Saturday because one of the members has just taken it away from today until next Friday. So he's booked it away for an entire week, which is absolutely amazing, the fact you can do that. Where would you fly if you had it for a week? Europe. You can go to Scotland, you can go across Europe, you can just do extended trips. Exactly, Whiten. There is a chance, mate. There is a chance. It's the best alternative to buying one, I think. You know, a 1/7 share in a plane means... And they've got a healthy engine fund, so... Apparently the engine was rebuilt in 2006, but it's probably got about another 10 years left before it needs a full rebuild. Avionics is decent. They don't have any, like, full-on GPS in there, but it does have a wing leveler autopilot. So in theory, it says it has a wing leveling autopilot that can follow nav. So in theory, you can at least set up a waypoint and then tell it to fly there. But something that just levels the wings is actually a big, like, time saver. You know, if you're doing a long journey, like now, having to be hands-on versus keep the wings level on this direction is just, you know, I can actually take my hands off the thing and just do something else for a minute. Yeah, it's True Earth. Yeah, it's all True Earth around here. Alright, so that there is St. Ives, right? That right there is St. Ives. And that is where I proposed to Mrs. Squirrel. No word of a lie. St. Ives is where I proposed to Mrs. Squirrel. Cool's that? Right, Penzance is coming up down here. Yeah, lovely place for it, exactly. Penzance is here. St. Michael's Mount. This is really cool. If you ever come down here, go there to St. Michael's Mount. Well worth a visit. Fuel. We're just going to Land's End down here. If you actually look where we are in the world, we're like at Land's End, which is appropriately titled. Just about passing Penzance on the left here. Down there. Been to Penzance a few times. Not sure what that is. It looks like a quarry or something. Are you looking to go after your PPL in the States and wants to ask how much flying in a sim like X-Plane has helped Bust a Machine? I think when you're doing your PPL, get on the sim and practice what you've learned. Like, it really does pay dividends. You know, when your instructor's saying to you, and you're reading the books, and it's saying to you like, airspeed is king, stalling. Like, when you're doing your stalls, for example, which will happen around about less than, if I remember, less than about 8, 9, 10, somewhere around that mark. You'll be doing stalls and stuff. Come in the sim and do it. Yeah. Practice it. See what it feels like. Stall recovery, like spiral recovery, all that stuff. Come and practice it in the sim. But, you know, you learn to sort of scan instrumentation quickly. That's the thing. This 6-pack is critical. And you kind of learn to scan it. But honestly, that is the number one for me. And it always has been. XOKDUX, thanks for helping me procrastinate. You're welcome. Anytime. XOX, thank you very much for the delivery, sir. Now, if I remember, elevation is 400 feet, so we should, in fact, be at 2400. Because we're on QNH. Have you flown to Lid Airport IRL? Yes, and I'll hopefully going there again next week.
Oh, yeah.
Speed is life, altitude is life insurance. Pretty much. Flameth for your lovely beard. Dude, thank you for the donation. For my lovely beard. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate the support. Looks like you might night fly above Auntie and Uncle's farm in Morven. Nice. Do you know what? I love night flying. Right, we've entered Land's End's ATZ, which means it should be below us. That looks like it. See the runway here, the runway here. So we're going to go off down that way, have a look at Land's End itself, and then come swing back and land on 30. Whoa, frames plus. They got a displaced threshold at that side, but not at the other side. Right, I'm just going to disable autopilot. Let's go and have a look down here. We've driven past the airfield many times, it's tiny. It's interesting how you have to PPR to go there, though. Yeah, the reason airspeed's so important, like, there's a few reasons, really. If you get under, you can stall. If you get over, you can start to damage the aircraft. So if you start descending on full power, you'll go into the yellow zone. So, you know, as it's picking up there, just back off. Pitch up slightly. Lower your descent rate. I've been there. Land's End Visitor Centre. It's super annoying. The last time I was there was on a motorbike. And they want to charge you like 15, 20 pounds just to go there. It's just ridiculous, honestly. It's the end of England. Like, surely that's everybody's property. Why are you charging me to go there? Just pathetic. It should be free. Like, you're going to make your money out of coffee and tea in the cafeteria, so what do you care anyway? Honestly, things like that are just depressing. It should be treated like a museum in that it's free entry. This is the only downside of a Cessna. Like, when you're turning, you can't see anything. Which is why in a Cessna you're supposed to, like, look before you turn and then make your turn as quickly as possible. Because in your turn, you can't see where you're going. Which took a bit of adjustment for me when I first flew the Cessna. Right, let's get some lights on here. So, landing lights, come on. Brakes are done. Mixture's going to rich. Fuel's on both. Don't have carb heat. What's the perimeter around the plane? I just picked up a blue mushroom, so it was like a protection bubble. Right. Freak me out. Okay. I can actually abort this because I've lost sight of the runway properly. It's not what I thought it was. There it is. Dead ahead. You can always go around, as they say. The trouble is, when the visibility gets like this, everything starts to look washed out on the floor and you just can't see what's going on properly. Has door not been on, Elphillips? Can't remember if we had Dolly on. Oh, door's just literally turned up. Not sure how we're going to do this though. Given that I'm actually trying to land a plane. Huh? How do we pause it again? Hang on. Nope, it's not that key. P? P for pause, that'll do. Right, let's get Dolly on. Boom, boom. That one, not that one. Dolly! Dolly! I think you'll find if you come here, you might get schmacks. No, don't worry about it. It's just a truck guy going nuts. There we go. There he is. Say hey. Yeah, the head tracking went a bit crazy. This is one thing you can't do in a real plane, is just pause it. You can't pause it. It's cheesy jokes like cheesy bites. Oh, there, Mr. Doyle. Pretty certain I'm going to give you a bath later.
It says. I'm quietly confident it won't happen.
This is Squirrel likes them jokes. Yep. You've hoovered the landing, nice.
It all helped.
Does he stink again? A little bit. Don't you, pal? I don't think so, boy, Mac. I don't think I'd ever take Doyle flying. That'd be a terrible idea. An animal that you can't control in a plane? Nope.
Straight one.
Itchy face. Doyle is the schmackinator. Oh, Doyle, you've got one extra one on the ground now. I know where it is. Will you find it? That's the question, Doyle. My guess is no. I reckon Doyle is genetically related to a T-Rex.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if it's moving, he sees it.
Oh.
Like if it's a cat and the cat stands still, he doesn't see it. But the moment the cat moves, he's like, "Brrr." It's the same with a cheesy bite on the ground. Like he won't see that unless it moves.
Might be something to do with his fur in his eyes.
Might be something to do with the short paws on the front as well. Look, see, it's like T-Rex paws. See, brrr, brrr. Big back legs,
Oh,
tiny
yeah,
T-Rex paws. Flaminth, Doyle, I love you. Thank you, Flaminth. Right, thanks for popping on. I think he knows there's one on the ground somewhere. Let's see if he finds it. There you go. He's not seeing it. He's not seeing it. He's seen it. He sniffed it out. He eventually found it by sniffing. Flaminth, thank you very much, sir. Right, let's unpause it. Get this thing on the ground, shall we? I don't like telegraph lines down there. I'm not sure what a Doyle T-Rex emoticon would even look like. See, that sun's getting low and you start landing into the sun, it's not fun. Right. Yep, exactly. Well, we're landing on 3-4, but even so. It's still, I mean, look at it. That's what it's like in real life as well. It's just hard to see, apart from the thing's not lit up yet. There's the airfield. Let's get the speed back. And we're looking for 65. We'll take 30 flaps now because we're a bit high. We want to slow down a bit. It definitely dived too much, this plane. There's way too much drag on 30 degrees. It's just not normal. Should have actually looked at the taxiway diagram, shouldn't I? That would have been good. There we go. There's a bit more of a butter landing, isn't it? It looks like there's a turn-off point here that's the old runway. Or maybe disused, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to how to fly the actual plane, the sim in the plane in the sim, because it does fly differently to the real one. It kind of... The heck, man. That 30 degrees, like, it really gives up a lot of speed at 30-degree flaps. Yeah, that's the stall horn, exactly. Stick it over here some more. I can tell you that my plane in real life definitely does not do that. There must be a pretty strong wind there that we just came into. Look at it. What the actual... What's going on? What? I think there's some weird physics going on though. Trim back to takeoff. Dun, you do your magnetos.
The engine seems ideally primed.
That should have gone off. There you go. Welcome to Land's End. I reckon we're about an hour away from sunset, something like that. You know, I should fly to Land's End at some point. Definitely should come down here. But I think you'd have to stay away. It'd be a bit too much to fly there and back in a day. We made it. So if you think about where we've flown today, we've actually done quite a lot of flying. Because we started out in Earl's Cone, which is here. We started out there in Earl's Cone in the middle of your screen. We flew down to Southend. We overflew Southend. Carried on and went down to Lydd. So we landed at Lydd, didn't we? Then we took off out of Lydd. Flew past Hastings and Eastbourne. And was it Brighton? Yeah, and then we landed at Shoreham. Shoreham was nice, like that. That's Horbex. That was pretty good, Shoreham. Took off out of Shoreham. Headed west along the coast here. Dodged all this stuff going on. And went to, I think it was Portsmouth. Portsmouth was amazing to see. And then we flew south down to Sandown in the Isle of Wight. Landed at Sandown. Then took off and headed west. Stayed just south of Bournemouth. Just south of that controlled airspace. Went along here. to Weymouth, and then along the coast, past Lyme Regis, I think it was. And then we landed at Newquay, I think. So we missed Exeter. Torquay, that was it. Went to Torquay. Plymouth. Went down to Plymouth. Then we cut across. I've lost Newquay. There's Newquay. Landed at Newquay. There. And then the last leg was Newquay down to Land's End. You live near Shoreham? I'll be landing at Shoreham at some point. Over summer, Captain Jack. No doubt about it. I've not heard that, Oliver Rick. Do we have a total flying distance? I don't think we do, actually. Go on to my weather reports. It's not gonna, it's just gonna stay at 20 Celsius where I am. Yeah, that was basically a south coast tour, wasn't it? Finishing up at Land's End. So what they managed to put down here at Land's End.
Anniversary, Nutter.
There's a Scumbag Visitor Centre. I'm sure there is a big lighthouse somewhere around here, which doesn't appear to be shown. Wolf Rock Lighthouse. Yeah, that one. Doesn't appear to be shown. Oh. Well. I don't know what we're going to do now, because I've only got 40 minutes left, and I'd have to switch PC to change. It doesn't seem worth it, to be honest. Large one, thank you for 2 years, 24 months. Hope all is well. Keep up the good content. Thank you very much, sir. How do you move around the map so fast? You're just using the cameras to do it. I ain't playing Train Sim World. Nah. Ooh, shiny. Let's all just have a sing-along. Yeah, let's play some Fortnite. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Close your flight plan, fill out the personal and the plane's logbooks, tie the plane down, go to your motel. That's pretty much how it goes, right? That's pretty much how it goes. There's always paperwork. Always paperwork. Guys, honestly, I think we'll just leave it there because it's just not worth me switching game for like 40 minutes or something daft. So I think we'll just finish it a little bit early. Yeah, I think it's a nice place to end it. We've just done a nice long flight session. It just seems a bit weird to tack something random on the end of it, just for the sake of 40 minutes. Would we look at planes for sale? Dude, have you honestly ever seen the price of planes? They're just not. It's just not worth it. Right. I'm going to head out and maybe I can figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun. I certainly did. It's really great to get flying and show you some stuff. I hope you learned something. If not, fair enough. If you did, well, cool. But yeah, we're going down to Lid. I'm going to try and fly there next week, but I'm not sure the weather's going to hold. But I'm going to head out. I'm back at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll start off at 1 and then we'll go into Sunday Night Trucking at 5. So thank you so very much for your support. Thank you for being here, hanging out. And I wish you all a great rest of your Saturday. And I shall see you all on Sunday. And yes, L. Phillips, tomorrow I will change the highlight video. There is a new highlight video. But I forgot to, well, it's not that I forgot. I didn't swap it in. I just didn't have chance. I was trying to get equipment working. So I shall see you all tomorrow at 1. Have a great Saturday. Love you all. Good night.